This isn't just another day in court. It's a front-row seat to lives hanging by a thread, where one judge draws the line between second chances and final warnings, from a man begging for a PR bond after never showing up, to another threatening a drive-by over an oil change. This courtroom is where reality hits hardest and excuses stop working.
Actually, it's not very funny, but it's actually quite sad. Your lawyer came to me, was it yesterday or was it the day before, asking for a PR bond? Monday. Asking me to give you a PR bond. Do you think that was a good idea?
Right here, this is where the judge drops the hammer. PR bond, not a chance. When you treat court dates like optional brunch invites, don't expect mercy. This is a masterclass in judicial shade.
To give you a PR bond?
Are we looking at the history? Okay.
Never, ever once appeared on your own here when we give you a PR bond. Every case that we have with you sits at around 10,004, 10,005, because you never appear. When you come to court, good things happen. You understand? If you ever need help, if you need a place to sleep, if you need food to eat, if you need a cell phone or tablet, anything you need, all you have to do is come and ask, and we will bend over backwards to help you in any way that we can. But when you continually fail to appear, you become a flight risk, and we just can't trust you. So he came to me asking for this PR bond. I laughed, because I know if I give you one, like little wings on a bird, bye, you just don't come. Next time, if you pick up a case, come, and we'll help you with whatever you need. I don't care what it is. Anything you want, I'll give you. You want treatment, you want help, anything. You now stand charged with
30 days for trespassing, with 12 days already served. It's not the worst deal. But listen closely. The judge's warning. This man that prison time isn't his biggest threat. Becoming unrecognizable is. It's a warning you don't want to ignore.
criminal trespass. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement where they're offering you 30 days in jail with credit for the 12 days that you've done. You're giving up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement, Ms. McCoy. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. You know, you've spent the better part of the last 4 years in and out of custody for one thing or the other. Before you know it, 20 years will have passed, and you will end up in such a bad place. You're going to look like the things on the street that you'd never think that you would be. If you continue at the rate that you are, you need a change before you really do some damage that you can't crawl out of. How do you plead to the criminal trespass? Guilty or not guilty? It's all right. You know what we're doing, right?
You want me to talk to her for a moment? I don't...
No. I mean, you're pleading. You know what we're doing. We're doing a plea for guilty, right? Is this what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, ma'am, I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to follow the agreement. Come back next time. Good luck. Thanks. Was it 13 days credit?
Mr. Crocker.
Okay.
He's not here.
Okay.
He's bond. He has a surety bond. I called his bond company. Called his dad. Called him. Can we roll it till tomorrow?
Sure.
Okay.
Set me up tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
No, sure, tomorrow.
I got you. Thanks.
Yes, Mr. Thomas. Come on up, Mr. Thomas. Good morning, sir.
Now entering the courtroom, Mr. Thomas, charged with something that sounds straight out of a movie, terroristic threats. This one's about to escalate quickly. Trust me, it's not just about oil changes.
Sir, you were charged with terroristic threat. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay?
On February 6, 2025, the officers interviewed the complainant, who stated that on January 18, 2025, the defendant came into the 5-minute oil change located at 747 Gary Ashford Road in Harris County, Texas, to have maintenance performed on his vehicle. The defendant let the complainant perform a cabinet check on his vehicle, so the complainant got inside the vehicle. The complainant and the defendant then exchanged a verbal exchange, so the defendant was upset that the complainant was inside the vehicle. The complainant's manager interviewed and attempted to de-escalate the situation, and the defendant told the complainant's manager, "I'm going to come back here, you better correct him before I come back here. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to finish him off with a gun. I will fucking come shoot you all, I will do a drive-by." The complainant confronted the defendant and told him that he was not welcome back. The next day, the defendant was captured on surveillance footage at the location, speaking with the complainant's co-worker, who informed the defendant that the complainant was not at the location. The defendant went into his armrest and the witness stated that the defendant went into his armrest and he pulled out his gun while uttering the word.
Let's pause right there.
I should have.
Shot him yesterday? It's not frustration, that's a felony in a sentence. Whether or not he meant it, the law takes that kind of talk very seriously, especially with a gun in the mix.
Because of what happened yesterday, I should have shot his ass, referring to the complainant. The defendant stated, "I'm going to come every day until I see him."
And Judge, that's simply not true. In fact, I have.
Remember, this is a probable cause. We start getting into more stuff. I mean, my only concern is, was there a terroristic threat, right?
Exactly.
And I don't know, it looks like there were potential multiple threats, so which one is in the charging instrument? Is
I think the one alleged to have occurred on
the actual day in question when everything...
I can look and double check.
Because what I have, Judge, is just a receipt from when he paid, and because of the way he was treated, they gave him a $20 discount. It shows on the receipt as well. So, he had told them, "Don't upsell me, don't upsell me." He comes around the corner and the guy's in his car. So that's why they gave him the discount on this.
But I mean...
Even so, Your Honor, just how it happened.
No, I understand.
And just to clarify, it is the first threat on
First, yeah, I mean, it's...
It is what it is, I understand.
So, Mr. Thomas, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. The only thing I'm going to ask you to do is don't have contact with the complaining witness, don't be in possession of weapons, and don't go back to the 5-minute...
5-minute oil.
Yes, sir.
5-minute oil change. That's all I'm asking you to do. Really? Just don't have weapons and don't go back, okay? That's it. As long as you can... Of course.
Anything further, Judge?
We have to do bond.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes. Sorry.
It's already set at $100.
Oh, it is? Okay, so I don't need to. All right. So, Mr. Thomas, I'm going to grant you a PR bond today. You have a bond set at $100. I'm going to grant you a PR bond. All I'm asking you to do is just don't pick up any new cases. Just be nice. It's not hard. You've got a great lawyer here. Listen to him. He'll take care of you. I'll waive your appearance because you have a lawyer. You don't even have to come back. Just stay out of trouble and just, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
So, I don't let him, I need you to sign a bunch of paperwork. We have bond conditions that we're going to create. I need you to sign them. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. You'll have to meet with Fleischer for your PR bond, and after that you'll be free to go. Okay? All right.
All right, thank you very much, Judge.
And Judge Paul,
Yes, sir.
an attorney, right? Please.
Yes, sir, certainly.
Have him over there in the top.
Okay, thank you.
Judge, I need the cause number.
2555 058.
058?
Yeah. Marcos, you ready?
Yes, sir. Ready for plate?
Yeah.
Mr. Salvador, have ready for plate?
Please.
Salvador?
Good morning, Mr. Salvador Mejia. Sir, you were charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for the 1 day that you have done. You need to understand that this DWI will go on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life. It's even there after you die. This is important because if you get pulled over in a car, an officer comes up to your window, they see that you have a prior DWI, and they smell alcohol on you, or they smell anything funky, it's probably not going to go well for you. What we're doing today, the proverbial slap on the wrist, will not happen again. From now on, it's a minimum of 90 days in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You're giving up the right to trial. Hell witnesses to testify on your behalf. Confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never change this. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You still want to do this?
Yes.
Is it true or untrue that you had a fire above?
Verdad o no verdad?
True.
Answer. Alright, so I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to 3 days in jail, give you credit for the 1 day that you've done. I am going to suspend your license for 90 days.
Yes.
Do not drive until you get a license, and I'm going to tell you now, I will waive the $4,500 surcharge that normally applies in this type of case because we all make mistakes. But if you continue to make mistakes where you endanger other people's lives, a second DWI, not only is a minimum of 90 days, but it's a $6,000 surcharge. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck.
Thank you, Judge. Can I have your excuse?
See,
Morning, Your Honor. How are you?
all right, Al, how are you?
Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge.
Hey, you ready? Come on.
Yeah, just want to touch on conditions of Mr. Barnett.
Okay. So you got appointed Mr. Albarnon? Great. Okay.
He has a residency restriction to stay away from his father's house. That's where him and his siblings live. And I want to approach you about lifting that up to no harmful or offensive contact.
And I'm okay. So he's Mr. Albarnon. Come on up. Your lawyer wants me to change the conditions so that you can go back to the house. But I want you to understand that if you have a very tumultuous relationship with these people where you're always butting heads with them, it's not going to go well. I don't want you to have any threatening or harassing contact with them. What is threatening or harassing doesn't matter what you think. It is what they perceive. So if you go like this, is that threatening, harassing? It most certainly is, and it can land you back in jail. Do you understand? So if you cannot be nice, and if you cannot get along with brother and sister or dad, be very careful. Because if I get wind that it's not going well, and that you're threatening, or you're putting anyone in danger, or you have a weapon, I will put you in custody. You understand? Okay. All right, I'm done. The only, Mr. Albarnon, the only thing I'm taking off of the protective order is the residential restriction. Everything else in the protective order stays. So if you threaten them, if you harass them, they can charge a new case on you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And if you can file, now we need. You were charged with evading arrest and detention. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement where they're going to dismiss your terroristic threat in exchange for your plea on the evading arrest. You need to understand that evading is an enhanceable offense. This is going on your record today. It'll be there forever. From now on, if you ever run from the cops again, you'll be facing a felony charge. Years instead of days. Do you understand? Not only that, it's a minimum now of 90 days for any new cases that you pick up in here.
In this courtroom case, the judge expresses a powerful mix of frustration, responsibility, and restrained compassion as he addresses multiple defendants, particularly focusing on a man seeking a PR, personal recognizance, bond despite a history of non-appearances. The judge firmly rejects the PR bond request, explaining that the defendant has never appeared voluntarily for court when given the opportunity before, highlighting how his repeated failures to show up make him a flight risk. The judge's tone becomes a stern yet heartfelt plea for the man to recognize the gravity of his behavior, offering help, food, shelter, even treatment if needed, but making it clear that trust must be earned. The judge warns that with continued neglect, the man risks not just prison time, but total personal decline, stating poignantly that you will look like the things on the street you never thought you'd become. The courtroom then moves into additional cases, including one involving terroristic threats made at a 5-minute oil change location where a customer, after a verbal dispute, allegedly made violent threats and was later seen on camera referencing a gun and issuing disturbing statements. The judge focuses not only on the words said but their implications in law, noting the seriousness of such statements even if made in anger. He explains the definition and burden of proof needed for a charge like this, while warning the defendant of strict no-contact conditions and the importance of staying away from the business and complainants. In another case, a DWI defendant is sternly told that while today's sentence is light, just 3 days in jail, any future offense will bring much harsher consequences, with the judge emphasizing how long-term this will affect the defendant's life, even after death, as the DWI remains on record permanently. The theme of accountability continues as another man is charged with evading arrest and agrees to a plea in exchange for dropping a more serious terroristic threat charge. The judge again stresses the long-term implications, warning that future run-ins with law enforcement could quickly escalate to felony charges and years in prison. Throughout these cases, what becomes clear is that the judge is not merely handing down punishments. He's issuing warnings, offering support, and trying to steer people off paths that lead to long-term destruction. His tone fluctuates between stern and empathetic, but his core message remains consistent. The courtroom isn't just a place for legal consequences, it's the last stop before a life spirals beyond recovery. He takes the time to explain the laws, rights being waived, and future consequences, making sure defendants understand what they're agreeing to. When considering why the judge says what he says, it's clear that his goal is dual. He upholds the law while trying to awaken those before him to their own patterns of self-sabotage. He is painfully aware that many of the defendants, if not corrected now, will end up trapped in the system for decades, maybe for life, becoming statistics of a broken cycle. His disappointment is especially strong with repeat offenders, as he's not just looking at charges, he's seeing wasted potential. He makes clear that while the court will help anyone in need, it cannot be manipulated or taken for granted. Whether it's offering mental health treatment, support programs, or leniency on fines, the judge positions himself not just as an arbiter of justice, but a reluctant mentor trying to jolt people into taking their second, or 10th, chance seriously. Ultimately, the judge's words are rooted in tough love. If you want help, he'll give it, but if you abuse the system, it will no longer shield you. And with every person that walks out of that courtroom unchanged, the judge knows they may soon return, not as someone needing help, but as someone society no longer knows how to save.